While everyone else is busy digging through old formula tutorials and wasting hours chasing outdated Notion videos, I'm going to show you why 90% of the work inside of Notion can be automated in seconds with AI. The problem isn't your workflow, it's not your speed, it's not even how you're building, it's the way you're approaching formulas. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to code with AI inside Notion by building a projects page and connecting it into your dashboard step by step. It uses complex rollups, relations, and automations that are fully built in. You don't have to write a single line of code. I'm going to teach you how to use AI, GPT, to generate and implement this feature in just minutes. Notion systems like this can easily take hours, days, or even weeks to fully build out on their own. So if this is your first time here, welcome. I build powerful Notion systems designed to simplify your everyday life and streamline your business workflows. In this video, you'll see the dead ends, the detours, so you can get a real look of what it takes to build something like this from scratch. And if you stick around until the end, I'll show you exactly how to grab the full system for free, how to start using it in your workspace immediately. So let's dive into the system. All right, so in this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to code with AI inside of Notion without actually having to know very little about coding itself. So just to jump into it, if we want to create this projects page, we can start by going into ChatGPT, going to say the voice, the voice mode and saying, hey, can you create me an outline for a projects page in Notion? We're going to be using the Notion AI builder. So to start, could you create a property for remaining days? I would like a status property. That status property should have not started, in progress, archived, done, and not assigned. I also would like a type property. This is going to be a select. So a select property called type. We're going to go Notion templates and N8N workflows. If you could also add a timeline, so a date property, I'll call that timeline, and then we're going to add a budget option as well, just so we know how much this project costs. So with that being said, we're just going to implement that. I just ran to it for a little bit. As you can see, I kind of just either will already have my thoughts like down ahead of time, or I'll use a previous page that I've made, or a whimsical or something like that. So now that we have this, it's formulating it into like a little strategy. I've also found this to be helpful as well. Can you generate what you just wrote into a code block for Notion? Thank you. Always got to thank the AI in case they try to take us over sometime later in life. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and copy that. We're going to come to the build mode. I'm just going to paste that in and see what that does. It takes a little sec, so I'm gonna be back when it populates. All right, so now you can see that we have the database, the projects database that's populated. It currently gives us a type, remaining days, and the budget like we asked for. You can also make changes to it as well. So if I just scroll through this real quick, we'll just hit continue and see what it says. We'll take all of the timelines and stuff that it gives us. And as you can see right away, we get, the status property. We have, all the 5 we asked for, and then workflows. It did give us a little bit more than we asked for that, but, you can just always go and delete those. We have a timeline, it auto, has the remaining days left, and then a little budget option. So this is a great starting point. And then we're just going to, dive in and start customizing stuff. So if we go over to the projects database and then we go to the by status, you'll see that we're greeted with a Kanban view. And from this point, there's really endless options. So if I hop over to ChatGPT over here, you'll see that I've already asked for, a couple formula options to be generated for us regarding the projects page. So while we're looking at this, you can see that ChatGPT's recommended, remaining days, days elapsed, and just a bunch of formulas that we can use within this database. Not only did it give us like 10 formulas that we can use, but if I scroll down, it also gave us the actual formulas that we can implement into, the Notion database. And one key tip that I got to mention every single time is the property names within Notion have to be exactly the same as they are within the AIs, whether you're using Claude, Perplexity, any, ChatGPT, any of them, you have to make sure that if there's capitals or anything, dashes, that they are added spaces exactly how they are within Notion so that it can write the correct code. And the benefit of starting the databases using the Notion builder is that it built the databases with the names and gave it to the Notion build mode. So it knows everything within the database. It knows the names, what properties there are. You don't have to go in and screenshot and drop everything like that in already. So with that being said, if I take, say, the remaining days formula and pop back over to the projects page, I want to come and say, bring the property group back, and then add that formula. All it would take would be a little paste, and it's always good when it gives me an error because then you guys can see how to troubleshoot it. So all I do is take a little screenshot and just drop that into ChatGPT. That's gonna, sees where the error is. It's gonna read it. It's gonna realize what it did wrong. I'm gonna come back in here, paste a new one, and as you can see, we get a 0 populated for the formula. If I come in here and I rename this, remaining days number, then I can take this, screenshot the property, paste this into ChatGPT or your LLM of choice, and say, hey, can you populate or create a formula for this remaining days number? I want it to say remaining days in style B, and then I want the number to come right after that, except I don't want the number to be in style B. So style B is the way to tell Notion to bold lettering. So you'll see that it actually knows what I'm talking about when I say it. Like, if you were to ask it to just bold something, then it would most likely come back and tell you like Notion doesn't have this like styles integrated into Notion. You kind of just have to know how to like prompt it sometimes. But as you can see, it says remaining days 0, and it's pulling from this right here. So formula to formula. And we can actually just go into the code right here and add that little semicolon so that we add that to the formula. And if we come out and go to the property visibility, we get our remaining days label 1. And now you see at the bottom, it says remaining days. But that's not all we can do with, formulating properties and stuff like that. But right now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to connect this current projects page to the current task list page that we have in the Help Desk OS system. So I'm going to go over here and what I'm going to do is go back to the Help Desk OS system. As you can see, the projects database is right here. We're going to go and change that icon to a stack icon. We're also going to change this task list to a stack icon because this is also a database from the last video as well. So what we can do is create 2 new pages. So if I just create one page and I name this, task list with the little underbar and full width, and I duplicate this and name something like projects. You'll see that now we have the task list and the projects page. What I'm going to do is come and copy this link, add this to task list. We can now write underneath it, create a whole page. We're going to do that same thing with the project. We're going to grab the link from the top right, come into projects, link that database view. Now we have an entire page where if we really wanted to, we can, drag stuff on top of it, click into it and do a lot more than just having the database view in front of us. All right, so now I'm going to go back into the task list and I'm actually going to link the projects database and turn that into a table view. Then I'm going to hide all of the properties just to make it easier to view. From there, I'm going to create a two-way relation between the task list and the projects page. So I'm just going to take the projects, I'm going to list that to task list help us. Going to name this projects. Basically what this is saying, if you're unfamiliar, is that this database right here is now going to be speaking to this database right here. I'm going to add that relation. You'll see that projects pops up here and task list pops up here. So basically, if you're looking at your task list and it says draft blog, post productivity tips, and I want to connect that to the email marketing automation, then I'm just going to click right here. I'm going to click on the email marketing automation. And as you can see, automatically right away, it pops up in the task list. And right then and there, we've created a two-way relation between the task list and the projects page. And at the same time, we're also able to use this cool formula that we're able to create where we get the due date label in the task list from the last video. And then if I come over here, I can go into the visibility and we can find that remaining days and that remaining days label. You can see that the remaining days is showing, 2, -2, and we can see that it's displayed, within the formula that we created. Okay, so now that we have the relation down, I'm just going to delete the projects page and go back to Help Desk OS. From here, I'm just going to take these two databases and I'm going to drag them into our database page that we have. I'm going to throw these into the databases. We can organize them later when we add more stuff. Then we can start by just dragging these into the sidebar. All right, so now that we have the task list and the projects page made, you might be wondering, so what's next? Now that we have the relation between the two databases, we want to be able to visualize that data in the best way possible. So if I go into my projects page, projects database, and I clicked into, say, the email marketing automation, you'll see that immediately, we see the project, but we don't see the tasks that correlate with it. And that's a really easy and powerful fix that came out a couple months ago when Notion added tabbed views. So if I go into the customized layout section, you'll see that I'm greeted with a few different panels. And if I just click on the side over here, you'll see that I'm greeted with the simple and the tabbed view. And immediately we'll put on simple, but we're going to want to go and click on tab. So from there, you'll see that this little section popped up right here, and this says content. So this is going to be the content that lies within the projects database, but we're going to want to add the task database on top of that. So if I add, a view, we'll see that because there's already a relation between this database and the task view, we're going to be able to click tasks, and all of the tasks that are related to this project currently will automatically populate underneath that project. So you're going to want to go ahead and click apply to all pages. And right then and there, you'll see that anytime I click into a project that has a task, I can then click into the task and see, that right then and there. I went ahead real quick and just copied some of the database views and formulated them just on the home screen so you guys have a better representation of what's really going on within the database. I'll be adding a client portal, a leads portal, and then I'll be showing you how to connect those via Whale-Sync and a bunch of other external tools, using Notion's API. So look forward to those videos regarding, the Notion NCP, Notion API, Notion automations, and a bunch of stuff like that. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I wanted to keep it quick and to the point so you can get back to building your perfect dashboards as fast as possible. I had a lot of fun making this, and I'll have a lot more tutorials on my other templates coming out shortly, so definitely stay tuned for those. And if you're interested in recreating the setup or diving deeper into Notion databases and, the Notion AI, shoot me a message over on Instagram. I'll make sure to get back to you. With that being said, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.